Hello, welcome back. My name's Andrew, and that is pure, unrefined olive oil, gifted to me by my brother and sister-in-law from their crop of olives. It's 5 litres of the stuff. So I've got to find a very dark container to put that in and put it into the room in somewhere that's a bit shaded, because olive oil doesn't last forever. And anyway, that's going to be my breakfast sorted out now. Not going to be drinking it, but I might have a fried egg with it. That's all I can think of at the minute. Anyway, we're on to Saturday the 18th of December, and we're only 1 week away from Christmas. And I've learnt last night, unfortunately, we're going to get a heavy dose of rain from Monday through, and fingers crossed it won't go on to Christmas Day, because it hasn't rained since I've lived here on Christmas Day. So please, because we want to go down to the beach. But either way, I'm going down there. Anyway, with that rain coming, I've pretty much given up the ghost with the well at this point in time. Anything I do now is going to be fruitless down there. So I'm going to turn my attentions to something else just for the next couple of days, because I've only got today and tomorrow. We'll come back to that well afterwards, and we'll just see what state it's in and see if anything else fallen down in there. So I want to get the strimmer out, go a little bit up into the hill there, and just do a little bit of cleaning up around and making sure that everything is ready for when we get that rain. So let's see what we can do. Breakfast first though. Fortunately, we do have 2 days of blue sky, which is really nice before we get that horrible dreary grey. It is quite windy at the moment, but it's still quite pleasant. There are 2 things that I'm going to need to do before I carry on doing any work, and the first one is to make sure that I have everything prepared for the salamander. And you can see down here I now have a nice stash of wood conveniently close to the door, which is very handy, and I'm hoping that's going to last some time, but I think I'm going to be going through quite a lot of that this next week. The second thing down here is the kindling. Well, I'm running a little bit low on that. That's my pine cones down there, so I'm going to have to go and get a little bit more. And that is good news for me in one respect, because it gets me a chance to take Borg out here, the tractor, for its first test drive since it was fixed. And we are going to go a little further afield this time. We're going to go nearer to my brother's house where all the pine trees are. But I do need this bucket, and unfortunately it is filled with kindling as well. So I'm going to have to empty that out first and put that somewhere dry and conveniently close so I don't get wet when I come out to get it. And also I then, number 2, have to come out and sort out around the bus, making sure that it's all tidy around here, making sure that the roof's okay, making sure the roof from the house is okay, and making sure that everything around the house and the bus that doesn't want to get wet is in the dry areas. Then we can go up into the hill and do some strimming. Pine trees. Goodo. Well, that's not very good. So the microphone that I've been using to muffle out all of the wind noise, this Rode, the lightning port has just snapped off. It always looks very fragile. I was so careful with it as well. And it's really windy at the moment. So, I really hope this doesn't affect the rest of the video. And I really hope that Gear for Music, where I bought this from, have really good after sales as well. Unlike Leroy Merlin. Oh, he's so cute. I really like his fur that long, but I'm going to have to cut it when it rains, because when it's too long and it gets wet, we go for a lot of towels, basically. We're only in a tight area as well, so that's going to be my job on Monday. Now, I apologise up front for this noise if it is going through the speaker. There is nothing I can do about that at the moment, apart from probably doing a bit of overdubbing if it gets too bad. But anyway, kindling down there, that's all hopefully going to stay dry. We've got our acorns down there. That should last a little bit of time. Next I want to do is clear up the area behind me, and I won't turn the camera around because it is a mess the last few days, because I've been moving stuff around because of the wood. Then I'm going to go up onto the roof, just double check the cracks are okay, and then just as a precaution, I'm just going to go up onto the roof of the bus as well, make sure that that's okay too. Then, because I completely forgot, I'm going to get the expanding foam and go in those 2 points there and down in that wall. And while I'm doing it, I'll just go around the windows at the front as well, and that's all secured. Now, I've done the washing, we're all sorted. Tractor, I'll cover that tomorrow, so I think we're almost there, and we can go up into the land and do a little bit of strimming while we still have this blue sky. Come, boys. But I've decided what I'm going to do is not go up there, because down here is all the stuff that I need to clear out anyway to test this blade. I couldn't come over here with the tractor because it's a large drop down there. So I want to try and tidy up as much of this area as I can down here, because that is my boundary line and I need to come this way. And you can see if I step out here how far down we've gone. So we've covered a really large area so far. Sun's just starting to go down. I was just in time, pulled everything to one side, and I hope you could see this, but this ditch sort of curves around there and goes down in that direction, and we've cleared everything on that side. So tomorrow now I can run over it with the tractor, but you really can now start to see the line of the boundary coming up here. There's the house there, and along there you really can see the boundary line up to that point anyway. And it's really starting to open it all out. Having this, when this is completely cleared out, it's going to really open it. I'm going to relax now. It's gone 5 o'clock. The sun's starting to go down. It's beautifully calm. It feels really lovely. So I'm going to enjoy this little walk with the dogs, and I'll see you in the morning, and I'll leave you with that view. Let's go home. Good morning. Boy, it's windy. Rather him than me. It is pretty nippy, and I dare say that water's not too warm either. But I've come up onto this section here because I want to just check the water line now and compare it after we've had the rain. And hopefully it will go up a little bit, as with my pond as well. So we've already seen the lemons and they're almost ready. But opposite the house on the other side of the road, there are a load of these orange trees, and they're only young and very small, but the size of the oranges on there are quite impressive. Really can't wait now to get my orange and lemons planted, because if they can look anything like this, it'd be amazing. Right, I've got to change this bucket for the chain rotary cutter, and it really isn't as easy as it may first appear. When I first bought this tractor, I was really excited because it came with 3 attachments, and I'll go on about the third one in a minute. But it took me about 30 minutes just to switch these two round. Now, I have practice and practice, and now I've got it down to about 2 or 3 minutes, and that makes it much more enjoyable when I'm using this tractor. But the third attachment was the backhoe digger, and I'm bringing that up now because there have been quite a few comments on this while I've been going down the well, why I don't get a backhoe attachment for this to make my life a lot easier. Now, this tractor did come with it, and that's why I bought this tractor, and it came at a premium as well. Unfortunately, I made a bit of a boo-boo because when I bought this house, I was excited. I knew what I wanted to do around here, and I knew that I needed a tractor, and having a backhoe attachment just seemed a logical thing to do for me. But it wasn't until I started using it that I realized that it's totally impractical. It was very heavy, very clumsy. Attaching it and detaching it was difficult. Setting it up was difficult. This isn't a very big tractor, and it's taking a lot of strain as well. When I'm using the tractor, I can't use the digger and vice versa, so you have to engage and disengage using this bar down here. These two, you put a bit of metal between them that engages it, and then you put it back and it disengages it. And also as well, you got these 3 points of contact here at the back here. And I discovered very quickly, one, I damaged it, and also ended up costing me a bit more money as well. I really made a big mistake on this one here, and looking back at now, if I could turn back the clocks, I would probably have got myself a cheaper tractor that just needs that bucket and the cutter, and then maybe sometime in the future I would get a proper digger that has tracks that can swivel 360 and it does what it's supposed to do. And that is one of the reasons why I resprayed this tractor early on, because I needed to justify the money I'd spent on it, because although it was in good working order, it was looking a little bit shabby. So now at least it looks quite smart. Now, while I'm on this subject, I know I don't need to justify it, but I feel at this point in time, I'll do it as a one-off. I really want to just make this next point, because a number of the comments are just suggesting that I'm a Northern European privileged male who's rolled into Portugal streaming with cash, and I'm upturning the whole system here and putting the house prices up. And then there's the work smarter, not harder comment as well. So number one, I'm 52 years old, and what little I have, I've worked ridiculously hard for, working my fingers to the bone. And just for the records, there's no inheritance. I still have to work on top of everything that I'm doing. I'm not getting any money from making these videos on YouTube. I'm just pushing as hard as I can. I took a chance, basically a risk, and I had to sacrifice quite a lot to follow my dream, and I think it was worth it. With regard to that second point, which I don't really need to answer, this work smarter, not harder, this is real life. It's not a business prep talk. I do things my way, and that's all that matters, is that I enjoy the journey, really. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get on and start doing some cutting. Yeah, that's definitely a bit tidier. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to get that bit down the ditch sorted out, or the bit to the right hand side at this point in time. I'll do that next week, so I think I'll just carry on with this bit that I trimmed down and just see if it tidies it up, at least in that little area first. Much better. When all this is cleared up, it's going to transform it again. Right, I've only got about an hour and a half left because I don't want to be rushing later on. I want to make sure that everything around the house is tidied up, ready for the rain. But I reckon my best job right now is to go over this area again, leading up to the base where I have my little trail up to the water line there. I've gone over this once, but I want to get this all crushed down as much as possible so that it looks like the rest of the areas that I've been doing down there. So I think I'm going to give this maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes or so, and just see if it makes any difference. I guess it was inevitable with these tyres eventually that this one was going to get a puncture because they were looking a little bit worn. Back ones are pretty good, but the front ones, yeah, they're pretty tough, but they're not meant for going over this sort of stuff, and they've taken a bit of a beating. So now I've got to try and get this back to the house and just see if I can get it all the way. If I think I'm going to have any problems and damage it, I'll stop it and then I'll cover it down there somewhere. But that's a bit of a pity. Oh well. Oh, bless him. He's got a limp now. We did manage to get him home. There's nothing I can do now. Just got to leave it like that, and I'll talk to the mechanic tomorrow. I'll see if I need to prop up that side because it's leaning down now. But he looks really unhappy. Oh, we're back up by the water now because I wanted to check the water line. Comparing it now to after the rain. I was hoping to remove a lot of these stones from around here before we get the rain, but that's not going to happen now. And if it doesn't go up too high, when it stops, I can take a load out. You never know, it might be all the way up here, which would be nice because we do need the rain, or it might see nothing at all. Who knows? Anyway, I'm up here just checking this out because I've come to a grinding halt after that little deflating moment. I'm not sure. I think I've just stopped. Basically, that has just stopped me in my tracks, and I've decided that's it now for the day. I'm going to go back to the bus, just clean up around there and make sure everything's watertight, as I said I was going to do, and then I'm just going to stop. I've been rushing around a lot lately, and sometimes you need a little breather, and I think this is probably a good time to do that because I need to stop, do a bit of research on this and work out what I'm going to do going forward with Borg, the tractor. I can either stick a new tyre on there, which just seems pointless. I think I'm going to realistically have to change all of them because those tyres are not meant for this sort of work. So that's something I just need to do a lot of research on because I've been quoted at close to €4,000 to get them all replaced because I have to replace the wheels apparently as well. And no doubt, because aesthetics comes into it, if someone says they can stick proper tractor tyres on those wheels, I'll end up with these little wheels on the side of that tractor, and I want it to look beefy. So yeah, I'm just going to pause for a minute and stop and enjoy this little moment here around this water line, and take the dogs for a little walk before I go for a food shop. And yeah, it's quite relaxing here though. Oh, look at that. The moon has just started to pop its head over the brow of that hill, and it's a full moon as well. And the battery's running out on my phone. I was hoping to do a time lapse of that because it's such a beautiful evening. Considering how cold it's been the last few weeks in the evenings, it feels amazingly calm and relatively warm at the moment actually, but that is just stunning. I really need good camera so I can actually see the moon, not just a bright dot in the sky. The sun starts to go down as well and the color of the sky changes. One day I'm going to get a really good time lapse of that moon in all its glory and you can see it exactly how I do. Look at that, we're not even a third of the way through. We've already almost got another Bertie down there. He's falling asleep, weren't you? We'll do your other side in a minute. Good boy. Is that good? Well, we're all finished now and he's looking a lot better, but I do think we've got 2 Berts now. He's looking a little bit chilly though, but I'll put the fire on soon and he'll be all right. We're just going to get through less towels and it's going to be a lot easier to manage. Maybe I can make him a little jumper out of that fur. Well, we have a little pause for a few minutes with that rain, but I think we're going to get it back in a few minutes. This morning I took the dogs out for a walk and my God, did it rain and we got soaked and I'm still shivering from it. I'm going to have a shower soon and then put that wood burner on and chill out. But I wanted to do this little bit first. It's Wednesday, the 22nd of December, and it was 1 year today that I signed the deeds to this house. And blimey, does time go fast. Wow. But we managed to do a fair bit, considering I didn't really start on the house until last month. I think next year we're going to get a lot done, and I've got high hopes for that. And I'm going into it positive as always, and it's going to be an interesting one. So I hope you can keep following me. Now I'm going to carry on just doing a little bit of clearing up behind here now, because I've got half of it sorted out and there's only a little bit more to do. So I'll do that in the next day or so. And then Christmas Day, well, there was supposed to be 7 of us going around to my brother and sister-in-law's to celebrate and have a lovely afternoon with a nice roast dinner and a few drinks and celebrate. But now it turns out there's only 5 because one of the couples, after having their 3rd jab, ended up testing positive. I hope they're all right. Anyway, that was all fine. We're down to 5. And then my brother called me yesterday and said that he was feeling a little bit odd. And he had one of those little test kits and he tested himself and now he's positive. So now it looks like it's down to me and the dogs. We're going to spend the day, Christmas Day, in there. We're going to go to the beach in the morning. You'll see all that. And then I'm going to put the fire on, put some twinkly lights on. I think I've just got to batten down the hatches and watch a couple of movies. I think that's all I can do. And then in the early part of the new year, when we get some blue sky, we'll all get back together again and we'll do the celebration then. So anyway, I hope they're all right. And they'll all be all right. It's all fine. Everything's good. So I'm going to take this opportunity now to end this video on that note. I thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the videos up to now. And thank you for subscribing, thumbsing up, and of course all the comments. Really has made it all worthwhile for me. So for everybody out there, have a fantastic Christmas. No matter what you're doing, stay positive and look forward to next year. It's all going to be great. And stay tuned for my next videos. While it is like this, I'm going to take the opportunity to do a little bit of editing, and I'm going to put 2 videos up in the next week, which were going to be about me moving out to Portugal and the previous houses. So keep your eyes open for that. And of course, I'm going to continue videoing everything that I'm doing. So anyway, on that note, have a great one. Take care, look after yourself, see you next week, and enjoy.